Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dad and Buried podcast. This week on episode 35, we're talking about hypocritical parenting, which is when you tell your kids, do as I say, not as I do, because you're a shitty role model who does all the shit you tell them not to do.
Just get it done. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it anymore.
If this is your first time listening, my name is Mike, a.k.a. Dad and Buried. I'm fucking huge on Instagram. Verified, over 100K. Pete, non-existent on any social media at all.
Well,
as I reiterate every week, dragging us down with your lack of profile.
My name is Pete, and I am a Scientologist enthusiast. So that's my main.
Does that mean you're a Scientologist, or you just like people who are Scientologists?
I'm fascinated with anything to do with Scientology.
I am too. I read the Time magazine article in like 9th grade, and I've been fucking dialed in on that shit ever since.
Where is Shelley Miscavige? That's what I want to know.
You're damn right.
Know.
You know what? She's 6 feet under somewhere.
No, here's the thing.
She's out in international waters.
Guess what the LAPD have done to her case that
reopened it?
That Leah Remini opened.
Oh, no shit.
They closed it. You know why? They found her shooting hoops.
Right. Well, this week we're going to be talking about hypocritical parenting. Like I said from the top, it is when you try to instill behavior in your kids that you don't at all evince.
Just stop
like
yelling.
That? That's some fucking quality vocab. So, as an example, so as you may or may not know, if you're one of the many 100,000 people who follow me on Instagram, I started a new job. Today as we're recording.
Congratulations.
I've been unemployed for about 7 months, and now I'm back to the grind.
We're very happy.
And so last night I said to my children, I said, hey, guys.
You've got another thing to complain about.
I do. I said, guys, tomorrow's a very big day for Daddy. It's his first day at a new job. He wants to make a good impression. I need a good night's sleep. I didn't get any sleep on Saturday night because we went out to celebrate our anniversary and fucking...
It was a booze-a-thon?
Yeah. Went to bed too late. Whatever. I needed a good night's sleep last night.
Was your wife there or just you?
No, my wife didn't. Okay, she doesn't come to my... It's my anniversary. It's actually the night before our anniversary, where it's the anniversary of my single life.
That's
the death of it.
Yeah.
So then, obviously, this morning, my kids were the exact opposite of helpful and compassionate and understanding, and were fucking lunatic nightmares. And it was impossible to get my 9-year-old, he's newly 9, out of bed. Right. Monday morning, nobody wants to get out of bed. I did not want to get out of bed, but you're goddamn right, I'm yelling at him to stop dragging his feet and get out of bed, which, again, is an example.
Was it different from the normal routine, or what happened? It was...
No, not really. It was a little bit, sometimes he's a little bit...
You know what? Your energy was different. That's what it was.
My energy was different.
You were just you were hopeful. You had something
I was
on
a little nervous.
You had something on the line, and your kid, whose eyes were closed, sensed it.
So my kid, my toddler comes in at like 5:30 or something and wants to eat.
Oh my God.
Wants to eat.
Eat what?
Right? Mini muffins, because that's what he gets for breakfast. 100%. So he's just asking me for muffins, and he gets on the bed. And sometimes, like the dream scenarios, he'll come up and he'll fall asleep on me for like the last hour. But instead, he just sits there.
Wait, that's the dream scenario? How about just like being able to sleep in?
Well, sure, yes, that's the dream scenario. But we're talking realistic stuff. So he comes into the bed, and instead of laying down on me, which I'm just beseeching him to do, just fucking lay down on me. I want mini muffins. Literally would not fucking stop until I'm fucking berserk with rage.
At 5:40.
Finally getting up and getting him his goddamn mini muffins, which is the worst because once you say no like 3 times, you're like, I gotta stick to my guns, or else it undoes everything. And then he just goes on so much that eventually I just was like, fuck it.
Honestly, that's why
undoes it all.
That's literally why you have guns in your house.
That's true.
You're pointing them at him. He doesn't understand what they are.
Wake up.
Just shut the fuck up.
I'll take off the silencer so you can understand the... So I'm yelling, and I'm always telling my kids not to yell, and I'm yelling, and I'm lazy in the morning getting out of bed, and I'm yelling at them to stop being lazy and get out of bed. This is the hypocritical kind of parenting we're talking about. And I have some theories on this, not even theories, just a stance on this that we're going to get into.
Both are scientifically acceptable.
They're impeccable.
Both a stance and a theory are basically the same thing.
You know what? Shut up. But before we get into hypocritical parenting, we did want to talk a little bit about last week's episode. We got some great comments on the potty training episode last week.
We did.
Which was, I think, by all accounts, our most disgusting episode yet.
Yep. Everyone gagged. I know I did.
Nate, who does not have kids and does not remember the process of having been potty trained really had it struggling with it.
Yeah, he's like, wait, there's a toilet somewhere? Well, I don't get it.
Sarge, Hall of Famer Sarge, one of our patrons, says that all of these other listeners who commented have horrified him to his very core. He said his son was not that bad when it came to potty training, but he's now petrified for his daughter to start. The devil is coming for round 2 because he listened to our podcast and there were so many horror stories.
Because some people like breeze through number 1, but then
that's one of the theories of parenting is that if you have an easy first kid, no matter what they're easy about, they're an easy sleeper or whatever, the second kid's the opposite.
And vice versa also sometimes true, right, Mike? Would you say?
My first kid is hard and the second is easy? Yeah, maybe.
That's like me.
Well, I said they're the opposite. I didn't say one was hard, one's easy. I said they're the opposite of each other.
Okay.
Pay attention to your own
I wasn't listening.
So Sarah Dawn said that Pete's son sounds like the golden child because you talked about how...
He does. And he goes, I want the knife. The golden child.
Is that a golden child reference?
That's right.
What a weird...
I want the knife. It's the best reference of the entire movie. What else are you going to reference in Golden Child?
I liked the Golden Child. I saw it in the theater, but I do not remember that. It's just weird that
oh my god,
the hill you're going to die on is Golden Child.
Did I just find a little
haven't
hole
seen it in a long time.
In that, horrible bag of knowledge
fingers
that you keep in your brain. Okay.
So Sarah Dawn said she was referring to my comment where I asked Pete, "You can agree that stickers are stupid, right?" And she said, "Get some Dead and Buried stickers." And guess what?
We got some.
We've got some. If you're on YouTube,
those are
you
tiny.
Can see, I like the tiny ones. You can put them on your phone.
These are bigger. This is where you want to go. So
I tell you, I'm getting a second phone because my new job, they require me to get a second phone for work.
Oh my god,
it's so frustrating.
What are you, Jack Bauer?
I am Jack Bauer, using two phones at once.
Where's the fucking phone? Why are my kids in bed?
Okay, and then I guess she's making fun of me for saying you can support us because when I'm talking about
your words.
You can support us with your words, meaning you can give us reviews on Apple Podcasts. When we get to 100, we'll do a controversial episode, get to it. Or I can say support us with your wallet. And she said, when I say support us with your words, it's kind of like parents who say use your words when they're upset, and she thinks that's the most annoying phrase ever. So what she's saying is I am annoying.
Use your words.
And I don't appreciate that from...
well, you know what?
But I say Sarah, use your words to my toddler.
Really?
Well, he's speech delayed, and he'll scream, and I'll be like, "Use your fucking words," and then I take the gun out, and he just screams more. I do not have guns in my home, people.
Come on.
All right. She also says she redeems herself by saying, "This podcast makes me laugh every week. Keep them coming." We are going to keep them coming. Paula Polsky, who is probably the biggest CFL fan that I know.
There's no one who loves
CFL
Canadian
more.
Football.
The
league.
Calgary Stampede. Is that? I think that's an event and not necessarily a team.
You know what they don't have? Outbounds. They don't have any. They're pads.
Outbounds?
Yeah, they don't have anything.
Out of bounds?
Out of bounds. Yeah.
Sidelines?
Sidelines.
Holy shit. You're clearly a huge football fan. So he says, does nighttime potty training happen on its own, or do you have to somehow teach it? Starting an already difficult morning routine with a giant dump waiting for us in the diaper is just awful. No, I think that happens on its own.
You know
eventually.
What, though? At the same time, as long as it's just was a quiet, ship that just went in the night, you wake up and all of a sudden it's there. That's better than
him waking up and screaming, "Come wipe my ass."
I got a huge puck in my
agree.
ass.
But maybe, Paul doesn't sound like much of a morning person, and the first thing in the morning dealing with feces, not easy.
Perhaps he slept through it. I'm just going to assume. That's
Misty Bryant says, potty training is the worst. My son didn't start using the toilet till he started preschool. We would still put a pull-up on him at night, and he would poop in it. See, Paul? He didn't seem to care that we were still wiping his butt. He pooped and peed in his old car seat too many times. We could keep an empty Gatorade bottle in the car if he needed to pee. Done that myself. He's 7 now, and I still have extra underwear and socks for him in my purse. Underwear?
Yeah.
Just in case it trickles down?
Yeah. You got to send your kid in preschool with an extra change of clothes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean extra underwear. I meant extra socks. Like, what do the socks have to do with the potty training accidents? It just trickles down, I guess?
I guess. Trickle down theory.
Trickle down ecosockets.
You nailed it. You really nailed it. God, that you nailed that joke.
I can't believe how funny I found it. It was a really contorted the word to make it work.
I cannot believe how funny you found that.
I haven't laughed that hard.
I know, since 5 minutes before.
So Paul responded to that. The car seat accidents are the worst. Having to lug that stupid seat out for cleaning is just salt. We talked about this on the live earlier.
We did talk about it on the live earlier, but we didn't talk about it at the time. We didn't talk about fucking cleaning that goddamn car seat.
Yeah.
What?
Well, you can take
That's
the whole.
that's 7
you can
hours
take
right
the whole
there. That's 7
fabric
hours
off of it.
Yeah, you can, and that's 4 hours.
And then if you wash the fabric in whatever way, then you have to put it back on with like those hoops and try to. It doesn't fit right anymore.
Now you have to deconstruct it. You're looking at polystyrene. Oh my god, get out of here.
Bottom line, fuck car seats.
Fuck car seats. Come on.
We should have an episode that's all about baby or parenting shit we'd like to fuck. Not in that way it just sounded. Not in the way it just sounded. You know what I mean? Shit that sucks, which is pretty much the whole premise of our podcast. So scratch that idea. Especially scratch. Nate, you can take out the part where I said parenting stuff we'd like to fuck.
It's almost 2020,
get out of
folks.
that.
We were supposed to have flying cars. We were supposed to have
But instead we have gay marriage
suits.
and then animal marriage. This is a slippery
What
slope.
the fuck are you talking
I don't know.
about? Jesus
I'm a little
Christ,
bit.
there's
I have had a
nothing wrong
long
with
day.
Gay marriage. It's
I'm
awesome.
sorry.
But
I
what
love
we
gay
do-
marriage. I'm saying animal
would you
marriage.
Just shut the fuck
God
up for
damn
1
it.
second. My God. What I'm saying is it's almost 2020. At the very least, can we just get a fucking child's car seat that you can throw in the wash and put back on in about 8 minutes and not have to deal with like 44 hours of like
44 hours.
Yeah,
Weird choice.
It's going up. It's going up.
So, okay, so Gina Cox went back to the previous week's episode about favorite kids, and she says,
Guys, listen
we
to
talked
these.
about this already. You didn't remove this from the document.
Oh, well, there we go.
Well, Gina, you know what? You're getting an extra shout out
Gina.
because Pete's fucking sloppy, all right?
Gina, we love your comments,
do love
and
you.
we love all the comments.
Almost all. I don't really like most of your comments, Pete.
Well, that's standard.
That
but
is
don't worry about
standard.
it.
All right, so we're going to get into
All right,
hypocritical
so
parenting
let's get into
right
hypocritical
after
parenting.
this.
Let's do it.
God, I'm sweating. All right, welcome back. This week's topic is God damn it, I didn't even mean that. Nate keeps calling it hypothetical parenting.
Hypochondriacal
which
parenting.
I wish my parenting was all hypothetical parenting.
You
or
wish
theoretical parenting.
So
where
you wish you were at home right now in a matrix, just thinking about what it would
pretending
be like
to have kids rather than actually having
Yeah.
them. But we're actually talking about hypocritical parenting, which again is that school of parenting where you try to teach your kids to be better than you,
It's very
doing
much
things that you don't do.
It's like the Stanislavski school of acting, but except for it's like you're just being a huge dick.
Is that what it's like? The Stanislavski
You just said the
Stella
like
Adler
the school of parenting. Come on, this is what all parents do.
Yes.
Do as I say.
You know what? It's called
Just
being a human being. Do as I say, not as I do.
As I'm screaming at you, I need you not to yell anymore.
It's the kind of thing, though, that you think before you have kids that you shouldn't do. Like, you shouldn't say, do as I say, not as I do. My wife still says that to me, where, like, I will do
Says it to
something and my
you?
wife will call me out, being like, you do that. And I'm like, yeah,
In
I'm
front
a
of-
fucking adult.
Wait,
I've earned it.
in front of the kids or out?
I don't know that she's done that specifically in front of the kids. She does criticize my parenting
You know
in
what?
front of the
You
kids.
just
It
God.
fucking
Well,
pisses me off.
And we covered that in
Double standards.
Double
yeah,
Standards,
which was like
which was episode 20
17.
something.
I have no idea.
I
We've
don't know.
done so many
guys,
goddamn
just
episodes.
like fucking scroll.
So
God
I
damn it.
broke down. We got a lot of user comments, and I tried to break them down into
All right.
categories. So the first one, which I think most parents can relate to, especially if they listen to this, is swearing.
Don't you fucking swear
Yeah,
anymore.
that's
you
what I say to my
little
kids.
Fucking
You
shit.
fucking bitch.
Listen,
Don't
you
goddamn fucking
asshole.
swear.
Don't fucking
Don't
swear.
say that
You
shit
fucking
in my
swear. You
fucking house.
swear to me,
Yeah.
you fucking motherfucker.
Because that's what parents say. They'll be like, those are adult words. We don't say those. Even
Yeah.
if you hear mommy and daddy saying them, you're not allowed to say them.
I say them too much. I
But
say them
kids,
all the time.
one of the themes of this episode is kids don't do what you say. They emulate what they see you doing, which is how you end up with kids who are like copying things you don't even necessarily realize. Like you're trying to teach them lessons, and then if they see you doing the opposite of that, they're going to do what they see you doing more than they're going to do what you tell them to do.
Everybody
was
got
eloquent.
everybody. You nailed that. Everybody got
Eloquent.
that perfectly.
So
And don't do what you do if you do what you don't do.
don't do what Donnie don't
Okay.
does.
All right. So listen, swearing. Can I just say something first?
No.
I have a fucking problem, a real problem, and it's not swearing at home. I do swear in not my professional life, but only like when it like kind of warrants it. But honestly, when that door of my car closes,
You become the Hulk.
you know what it is? It was like literally yesterday, driving home, and I fucking closed the door of my car, and I've got fucking Tourette's. I literally have Tourette's in the car.
Literally.
Yeah, I have Tourette's. It's not that I'm like this fucking guy. Look at this fucking guy coming in.
Yeah.
And everybody's
Everyone
in the car.
can relate.
I've got my fire. Everyone's there. And of course, my wife is like, "Oh, what? Are you kidding me?" And
She gets upset that you're swearing in front of the kids or that you're raging in front of them.
Yeah,
Both.
Like, well, not only that, then I'm like, I'm like Tommy Boy.
That's so funny. That's Billy Madison. By the
Billy
way.
Madison. Sorry, God damn.
It is
Good
Chris
call.
Farley, but it's Billy Madison.
It's Billy Madison.
When he's the bus driver.
The bus driver's just like,
Somebody throws a sandwich at him. He's hilarious
He just goes
in that
purple.
movie.
Yeah, that's me
He
in
makes
the
his face
car for
purple.
some reason. I can't help it, but it has to do
with road rage.
No, it's not road rage because I'm not like I'm not in the space.
You're not gonna like
to
chase
get
down
out,
the car,
and I don't really give a shit. I just want to not hit anybody. Like that's my main thing.
Okay.
And it's a fucking nightmare, like the sawmill and all these fucking roads and like night,
sawmill.
and it's
All
like
these
it's like
goddamn
exhausted.
roads.
You're exhausted, and it's like 40 minutes in traffic.
So nobody mentioned the car thing, but a lot of parents did say. So Maples Flower and Christy H. Buck said, saying "fuck" is one of the things they're guilty of that they don't want their kids to do.
Yeah.
Jamitosaurus says she says bad words, and then she hears her kid, who's only 2, saying them, and then she hears her kid yelling, and she knows it's her own fault because she yells all the time too,
Right.
which we're gonna get into. That's a problem I have. Excuse me. Wine, books, and weekends again.
Let it
She
out.
says swearing. They hear us swear, but they don't use swear somehow. No, I don't know what she's asking. I think she's saying.
No, they
Is
don't
she
know.
saying they hear us swear, but we expect them to not swear somehow? They don't know what they're doing. They just repeat words.
Yeah, they don't know.
It's when you come down to them and say you can't say that word that all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, I fucking found it.
Got
a
something
little pressure
interesting
point
up
yeah.
in here. What the fuck do you mean?
Shukas, who for some reason I'm into that username. Shukas says she swears all the time. I swore and then yelled at my 2-year-old for repeating it later at a kid's birthday party.
Oh yeah, you got to
See?
be careful, guys.
But this is the thing, right? One of the reasons we tell kids not to do the stuff that we do is we can pick and choose a little bit better, even if it's bad habits. Like we know I'm not going to swear at work, right? We can control ourselves more. Whereas these kids, if you don't ingrain in them
God
that it's
damn
a
it,
negative,
Greg.
that it's
this
a
is a
bad
piece of
habit,
shit report, you
right?
stupid
Well,
dumbass.
Right, exactly. That's a problem. You learn to, control yourself. But kids,
I just described my boss.
kids can't control it at all. So they'll
my
just
name is
be
Greg.
using it willy-nilly unless you teach them, hey, that's inappropriate. And in order to do that, sometimes it has to be a blanket thing. You can never say that because rather than you can't you can say that sometimes, but not other times. That's just confusing to a kid,
No,
right?
You got to come. You have to. The minute you swear, you have to immediately not make it a big deal, but just be like, don't say that because that's so lame.
Yeah.
That's what honestly
Super lame.
No one on TikTok says swears.
TikTok.
So
My
you
kids
just-
don't use TikTok.
You just gotta
so
go. For
Gordon
what the kids are into.
_tribe10 says my biggest hypocritical parenting moments are swearing. My 6-year-old has a mouth, and I tell her she can swear when she's 18.
Okay.
Right? That's
You know
one
what?
way to go about it. Those are adult words. You can use them when you're an adult.
I was just saying.
I've never met an 18-year-old who's an adult, though. Let's be honest.
My 11-year-old. Well, it's also funny when you hear some other kids swear. Like, so I tend to say Jesus. Like, well, also what I do is I also
I say
don't.
Jeebus.
I don't say it quite often. I'll just be like, oh Jesus.
You
I'll just like
mutter it.
But that just is enough.
Yeah.
And so when I hear my 11 being like, oh Jesus, I'm like, come on, don't like,
Yeah.
like, don't be like that. But then I see an 8-year-old coming in. We were at an arcade, and she's like, holy shit. And I was like, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like,
It's inappropriate. But you don't want your kid to be the kid who's throwing around swears in public.
Well, it was so funny. It wasn't my kid. She was with my kid, but she was
Right.
like, holy shit. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well,
But
that's-
again, like you
I
can't
didn't-
you can't get into you can't parse it for a kid and be like it's appropriate here or not here. There. You just have to be
Right.
even though you know it's bullshit. No pun intended.
No,
you have
tons
to
of
be like, buddy, you just can't. You're too young to do it.
Don't do it.
Keep the fucking words out your mouth.
You know what? Wait until you're 18, motherfucker.
Exactly.
And then the second you're 18, it's like you know what? Give kids something to look forward to besides in the United States drinking
and
at 21.
joining the army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Join the army. Swear all you want.
Yeah.
All you want.
Yeah.
Oh.
FUBAR. SOL.
These are the horrible words that you're just saying.
You know what FUBAR means?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Tango and Cash. Yes, thank you.
But Tango and Cash is what you're bringing up.
That's where I learned what FUBAR. That's what I learned what FUBAR is from.
Not Saving
You
Private Ryan.
fucking wanker. Tango and Cash is 20 years, 15 years before Saving Private Ryan. Yeah. It's
and
the formative version of FUBAR.
Okay, so Sylvester Stallone and
Kurt Russell and Terry
together.
Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher?
Yeah. And fucking, who's
What
the
you're
dude who
saying
did the
right
one-arm
now is
push-ups from
FUBAR.
City Slickers? I'm blanking on his name.
Oh.
He won the Oscar.
Just stop talking
Jack
for a second.
Palance.
Jack Palance, yes.
Billy Crystal.
Billy-
He honestly thought I was talking about Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal
The Oscars bit. I get
he
it.
did a
Nate.
no-hand.
All right. So the next category is yelling.
What are you talking about?
I am the biggest fucking hypocritical yeller on earth.
Okay.
My 9-year-old yells at his little brother like fucking crazy, and it literally mortifies me. And I'm like, stop
Does
doing
he
that.
do
And
it
I
exactly
know,
the way you do it?
yes.
Oh my god.
And I know
fucking
it's
hate that.
because of me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, buddy, stop. So I got a lot of comments. CK Danta 15, RMG Ordano, Cordo B4, Nay _ 1987, Y Markley. They all say they yell at their kids to stop yelling or to stop shouting. Ariel in the ATL says she screams, "We don't yell in this house." She just screams it, "We don't yell in this house," when her kids are whining and yelling over BS.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impossible
Well,
to not yell. I mean, I'm
so-
not one of those parents that doesn't yell. I don't know how to be.
No.
It's a problem.
I'm with you. We live in an apartment building, and so the beauty of that is that every single person that lives within 3 doors of us can
With the windows
enjoy-
open too, people on the street.
Oh, street.
People on the
yeah.
street.
Well, I don't actually.
Dibbidi-da-dit.
You know what? As a true New Yorker, I actually don't give a fuck about those people. What I do care about, though, are the people that live in and
Yes,
around
in
me.
your little
Because
community.
you know, we
You're embarrassed.
like I said, no, we live in an apartment. We've had yellers around us, and it's very disconcerting.
scary.
You don't know what's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
It's not pleasant.
I am that guy.
You get very kind of anxious.
It's
and
scary
nervous.
for somebody who's not in the room,
Who
who doesn't know the
what's
context.
happening?
Yeah.
That doesn't know that your kids are being total
Oh my
fucking
God.
dicks.
I was
24
I
hours
lost
a
my
day,
mind.
and they need. Well, I don't.
Discipline.
well-
so I corrected her.
No, I don't know what that's from, but my kids will.
The Shining.
My kids will really. When I say kids, my older kid actually has a very powerful,
Yell.
like a yell scream.
I don't want to hear
It's
that.
very tough.
Wow.
And
Women
that's-
that cultivate that are scary.
That's tough.
When we've talked about this before.
So
when my wife explodes.
We have to work. Yeah. And it comes from a place, but we have to work on not doing that, but being able to be pissed. I'm okay with being pissed.
So that's funny because Barb.Stagram says no screaming or yelling when you're upset, right? So like that's
Just
kind of like you. Like if you're upset and you can
just
kind of
sitting, yeah.
you can still be upset, but raising your voice in that situation is problematic. ABC Mommy says she tells her kids don't raise your voice at me when she screams at them at times.
Yeah.
I do the same thing, but again, this is my big thing with this whole hypocritical parenting topic.
Yeah.
For adults, we've earned the right. Like we need to teach these kids not to do certain things. And yes, I think it's hypocritical and it's hard to, because when you're the role model and they're going to act how you act,
Yeah.
it is hard to curb some of your negative tendencies. But when they get older and stuff, I think it's fine to be like, yeah, look, you know, I was taught all this shit when I was a kid, and I know there are different rules when you're a
Right.
kid than there are when you're an adult. It's just the fucking way the world works. Like
Right.
my son will say to me, that's not fair. I'm like, guess what? Life ain't fair. Get used to it. I can yell at you because I'm a parent, and then I get to yell at you for yelling
Right.
because you're the child and you need to learn. I learned, and then I promptly, rules are made to be broken,
Did
right?
you-
You learn the rules
did-
first, and then you can bend them later
But
when
wait,
you've earned it.
Did you broke all those rules when you were growing up? Of course.
I'm sure sometimes, yeah.
Oh my God. All the time.
No, I was a pretty good kid for a while.
What ages?
I was a goody two-shoes. Let's be honest.
Clarinet.
The fuck does a clarinet have to do
You know
with
what?
it?
Just get your kid
You
to
know
play
what?
the
Is
clarinet.
Woody
That'll
Allen a goody
solve that.
two-shoes? I don't think anyone would think so, and he played the clarinet, so your whole fucking stereotype just got busted.
Yeah, but he doesn't yell. So
that's true. So
but I would say on my end, I'm now at a place where I can have a conversation where I can say I'm not even going to listen to what you're saying. Like, you're obviously out of your mind.
yeah, you've lost
Crazy
control.
upset.
Yeah.
But I can't even
When you calm down, we can
begin
talk.
to rectify, and that's a big deal. But I'm not. So we've talked about this. I'm sort of more of a general, like, hey, can you please do this? Can you do that? And I'll do it. I'm more gruff consistently, but I'll never get to like
I do it all. I
a
do
level
it all.
of 12.
Where your wife will.
Yeah,
Yes.
some other folks will get to level 12. Some other folks in my house. I have
None
2.
more,
I
Glenn.
now have 2.
This one goes to 11.
I now have 2.
So this was shocking. Not necessarily shocking, but surprising. Not necessarily surprising, but notable. Not even that notable. It just happened.
Okay. What are we
The
talking
category is eating. I got a shitload of comments about parents who were talking about
yeah.
how they are constantly trying to tell their kids to eat healthy,
Right.
eat vegetables,
Right.
when in
Well,
reality
look
they
at
don't
us.
do it. But that's the perfect
We grew
example.
up on like cinnamon toast crunch, for God's
this
sake,
is-
the greatest
no, but-
cereal
no.
that's ever been invented. I've
But this
never
is-
let my
God,
kid
that's
have
such
it.
garbage. There's not even any chocolate in it. Get
Oh
out
my
of here
God.
with that nonsense
What are
about
you,
that being the
Cookie
best
Crisp?
cereal.
Are you
Cookie Crisp
fucking
comes up
kidding
here.
me?
Cookie Crisp.
Are you
look,
fucking
yeah,
kidding me?
No,
Cinnamon
I have
Toast
Count
Crunch
Chocolate at my
is-
house right now. It is fucking runs circles around cinnamon
Ooh,
toast
a little
dump.
bit of cocoa powder. Put some cocoa powder.
Fucking
Where are you gonna get
cinnamon.
cinnamon toast
Cinnamon is
crunch?
for like losers who don't actually like dessert.
Cinnamons
It's
are
a
for
fucking
people who
spice.
have a
It's not even
problem
chocolate.
with dessert.
Yeah, maybe
You
it is.
son of a bitch.
Anyway, so eating is a perfect example of my whole theory in that when you're a kid, it's more important for you to eat healthy and to develop healthy habits as an eater and with nutrition for like the first 20 years of your life. When you're past that and you can make your own decisions, right? And hopefully you have a foundation where you drank milk enough when you were a kid. And guess what? You're fucking an adult. You can make your own choices. When you live in my house, you got to get your fucking 3 meals. You got to eat the greens and the food groups,
Yeah.
right?
I
You know what I'm
think
talking about?
yeah, but yeah, I do. I know you said fed is best earlier, which I disagree
That is best,
with.
but that's about breastfeeding and bottle feeding. That's different.
Yeah, I know, but you brought it into a different context, which was like nachos, eating nachos, which that's the problem.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, I definitely know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I said I don't know what you're talking about. No one does who's listening.
You all right? Whatever. You were saying fed is best, and for like serving
just
your
explained
kids,
you.
serving your kids like nachos was fine. It's not fine. You need to do.
It's fine.
Oh my god, you need to
gotta eat
do the
something.
burgers. Here's the thing. Here's where honestly I think we should all agree on chickpeas. What the fuck is up with chickpeas? They're fully gross.
No, they're not. You don't like hummus?
I fucking love hummus and
You know
falafel.
hummus is made from
Yeah.
chickpeas, right?
You know what they're not? I don't do is eat chickpeas with the skin. What's
I'll
the
eat
skin?
some chickpeas right now.
Really?
You got some?
With the skin?
With the skin? Skin is almost always the best thing of every food. People that eat chicken without the skin,
Have you ever
are missing
Have you
out.
ever had a lima bean?
No, I don't eat
You
lima
would
beans.
change.
No.
You would.
Fuck
you
lima
would be.
beans.
You would honestly. We should be.
Go back to England.
What are you talking about? Lima beans are here.
They're
They're in
everywhere.
this country.
They're garbage.
They are
I was just making fun of
absolutely
your bad food.
disgusting.
habit. Anyway, look, we got to get into some of these comments.
But I will no. But the point is chickpeas is one food.
Chickpeas are one food.
It's a food,
It is a food
a food type that I will serve my kids, and
without the skins.
then with skins and everything. I'm just horrified as I'm putting them
I'll
on
eat
their
some
plates,
chickpeas right now.
and then they eat them up.
What
and
about the Brussels sprout leaves?
I'll do that. I'm
I love me
okay.
some Brussels sprouts. You prepare them, you roast them a little
They're
bit.
okay.
Crunch,
Yeah. They're good.
crispity,
I mean,
crunchy.
it's not.
They're not as good as
You gotta
like a nice bowl of cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh my! No.
You know what's funny? I would rather eat a bowl of fucking Brussels sprouts and milk than I would.
Cinnamon toast crunch, you son of a
I was
bitch.
exaggerating.
No, you were
Anyway,
not.
so TFox81 says she or he is telling her kids it's not healthy to eat more candy while she's secretly eating it straight from the cupboard.
Oh, there you go.
We all do it. Amen Tet Circle says that she has a problem with eating too much sweets and screen time. Or she tells her kids not to do that,
Yeah.
but she does the same shit.
Stop eating and don't do this.
Sarah Lynn Hughes says she's constantly getting on her kids for eating in the living room or on the couch, while she does the same thing as they watch from the kitchen. Like, you need to eat in the kitchen. But again, another good example. The odds of the adult spilling shit on the couch and stuff are a lot slimmer than the odds of the idiot kids doing
but
that.
the point is they don't know that. Nobody knows that.
They don't know
They're
anything,
they're
but you need to teach them.
But that's the hardest part. Wait, how come the simplest
You can
part
explain
is
to them why.
Oh, really? The simple part is I have to eat over here, but you get to eat over there. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, then you explain why, because I've earned it. Because I have you, and you are miserable, and you're making my life miserable, so one of the joys I get is to eat food on the couch. So
And
go
make
eat in the
your
kitchen.
life.
Anthony Raymundo 9 says, same thing. Eat at the table so you don't make a mess. Meanwhile, he's eating on his bed and spilling shit. My wife leaves crumbs in the bed, and she doesn't have a problem with it. It is literally
Oh my God.
the worst thing on earth.
There's a thing. Yeah, I mean that's.
I can't get
that's
in
a
there.
ground right there.
There's that stupid phrase, I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers. Guess what? I fucking would, and I do.
Crisps. It's
Get the
crisps.
fuck out.
Yeah.
It's gross laying on crumbs. Bridget 227, one of your favorite topics, says she tells her kids you only need to drink water. You love making kids drink water.
Yeah. that's
She
my
says,
favorite
meanwhile,
thing.
she drinks coffee all day until it becomes acceptable to have beer. She's my
Well
kind
done.
of woman.
Yeah, well done.
Lynn _ is me. I hide in the bathroom and eat chocolate bars, but I don't want the kids eating junk.
Right.
Again,
Right.
that's, to me, that's good parenting.
I think you can. Yeah, exactly.
You
If
can live your life like an adult because you've been through all this kid bullshit and you were forced to eat healthy and to not have that stuff.
So what you
and
do,
now you're old enough
You
and you make
excuse
your
yourself,
money.
You dig a little
Yeah.
bunker. You cover it over with grass.
You
Nobody
shove it in
knows
your
it's there,
face.
and then you go down there and you eat and do whatever else you want to do.
Mi Olivia 25 says that she eats chocolate behind her kid's back. Noko Mommy says she's eating too much candy is something she gets on her kid about, but she clearly does. Terrence _ 88 eating too much junk food. When I have junk food, when I'm like grabbing a bag of chips, I'll turn on the faucet because the bag crinkles.
Right.
Because if they hear it, they don't even care. They just hear a bag and,
And they'll just
they're
come
like,
in.
it's chips.
And then they're
and they
in.
come running out.
So then, but how do you open it?
Well, the same thing.
Faucet open. You have to eat the whole bag with the faucet going.
The whole bag. I can put it back in the cupboard.
Okay, everybody, we found our #1 climate
K,
change.
yeah, right. K Walker
Enthusiast.
90 says she always gets on her kids for eating their vegetables, but she doesn't love veggies. While she tells her kids they have to eat them. And
Yeah.
again, that's just good parenting. Your
Yep.
kids need that, especially
Yeah.
when they're growing up. They need the greens. They need the veggies. KML 218, she eats crappy food instead of actual
God, you're
meals.
so pro hypocritical parenting. It's the best.
Yeah, it's called the fucking adults have earned it.
You remind me of Saving Private Ryan at the very end.
Thank you.
Because someone
Earn
has
this.
earned
Yeah.
this.
Um,
Did your dad say that to you?
no, but you know the big flaw of that movie is that in movie opens up, it shows
I
the
know,
old guy
it
at the
crossfades
cemetery.
into
It goes into Tom Hanks, and the way out it comes out.
Damn it, I
It
know.
doesn't make any fucking
It
sense.
should crossfade
Spielberg
into
blew
Tom
it.
Hanks.
You know that in
About-
Jurassic Park they have the
it
scene where they,
crossfades into the dinosaur.
In
and
Jurassic
then it
Park they have
crossfades
the
into Goldblum.
They have
we
the
get
scene
it.
with the goat that is on.
And then-
Will you listen to me? There's a
then the
scene with the
ghost,
goat
and then
the,
they're doing
God
pottery.
damn it!
They're
There's
doing
a
pottery
scene.
together. You know what? What am I? Am I Mike? Am I doing Mike now?
No,
to you?
I make
Where I
fucking
can't fucking
cogent
say a word.
arguments. There's a scene with the goat where the goat is on fucking level ground and the Tyrannosaurus Rex comes and gets the fucking goat and it disappears. And then the next thing you know, once the Tyrannosaurus Rex is on attacking everybody, suddenly there's a cliff there. Right? So like the Tyrannosaurus Rex walks over and it's level, and then when the Jeeps go over the edge after the Tyrannosaurus is knocking them over, there's a cliff there that wasn't there before. Spielberg is a fucking cinematic master. It doesn't matter. You're still enthralled.
I'm not.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
No,
I
here's
didn't
what I need.
articulate it well,
No,
but
no,
I'm
no.
right about it.
Here's what I need. Those last 3 minutes back. I need them back.
So where are we at now?
I don't know.
Our Boston Bond 4. Here's the Cookie Crisp. She says you can't have cookies for breakfast. Meanwhile, when she was a kid, she literally had Cookie Crisp. Seinfeld has a joke
know.
about that because
I
he
know
loves
it.
cereal, where he says, when we were kids, Cookie Crisp is just mini
just
cookies.
cookies.
You just pour in a bowl.
I'll
I
tell
had
you.
that sometimes.
I'm telling you,
There's like a caveman. It's
so
like
my wife bought the kids Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It was for the summer. It was like a new experiment, and we were doing it.
I'm so sick of the
I
Cinnamon Toast Crunch shit.
Literally had to restrain myself.
Literally. From eating the Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yeah,
Isn't
dude.
it just Golden
'cause
Grams with cinnamon on it?
fuck out of here
That's
with your
100% what it is. It gets it fucking sogs out. It sogs out real quick, and then all you're left with is the fucking cinnamon milk.
You are such a
You would rather have cinnamon milk than chocolate milk? Get the fuck out with your cinnamon toast crunch.
Cinnamon is the highest. Have you been to Cinnamon Bun?
Holy shit.
Have you been to Cinnamon Bun?
It's called Cinnabon.
Or whatever the fuck it's called.
God damn it.
With the
it smells better than it tastes.
No.
Just like Auntie Anne's pretzels.
You just need to put it inside your body by any means necessary.
If they made Auntie Anne's pretzels into a cereal, guess who'd be there? Fucking day number one, buying out the stock. All of it.
Nate would.
I smell an Instagram poll.
Oh, good idea. What's the worst cereal? Auntie Anne's theoretical pretzels?
Best cereal, you son of a bitch.
There's no world in which Cinnamon Toast Crunch is on anyone's best cereal list.
You know what?
I can't wait to fucking put the poll up.
You know what?
Hold me to it.
This is
Hold
our
me to
last
it.
episode. This is our last.
Yeah, this is where it ends.
Shutting you down,
fucking
you son of a.
All right. So Jeb MS42 says she tells her kids no cupcakes for breakfast. Meanwhile, eats cupcakes while making breakfast. AKA junk food is for adults. You're goddamn right it is. Late night snacking. Kai York 2 says eating too much junk food but telling her kid he can't have any. Here's a good one.
Hold on a second.
Why Cal Mama? What the fuck? Wimes. I don't know what that name means. Whimsy Cal Mama? Whatever. God, I get bogged down in these names sometimes. Whimsy Cal Mama says, I tell them to try new foods, but I don't. Again, that's fine. My parents come down on me, right?
Why is it fine?
Listen, I'll tell you why. So when I was a kid,
listen up, everybody.
When I was a kid, I was a picky eater. When I was a kid, I was a picky eater.
You, Mike?
Shut up. And I would say, I don't want this. I'm not eating that. My parents would force me to eat it, right? Because a lot of times I'm saying it even though I haven't had it before, or it's insulting when your mom makes you shit and it's not a restaurant or whatever, and they want to force you to eat it and it's nutrition and they're making a point. I'm fucking 40 now. Right? I know what I like and don't like. I have tried all this shit. If I don't want to try something new because I don't feel like it, guess what? I'm an adult. I can make my own choices at this point. Get the fuck off me, Mom. I don't want your goddamn
hands all over my
mushrooms.
body.
Wow. Don't get weird. My mom, she's a saint.
You know what,
Dorothy
Mike?
Mantooth was a saint.
You know what, Mike? Your body's a wonderland.
It is a wonderland, but that pervert. A lot of perverts we're talking
about
tonight.
What are you talking about? I'm not talking.
You don't think John Mayer's a pervert?
No, I was going to say your body's. I meant to say your body's a Neverland ranch.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
So Ann V918, who is becoming a very prolific commenter on my Instagram, says, I tell them to eat fruit way more than I eat fruit, and I hide sweets from my entire family. You know who eats zero fruit?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Notice I've got my hands up.
Can I just say
I don't eat fruit.
Apples? What about apples?
I don't dislike.
Do you know how much better apples are now? In 2019,
we
oh my god!
I bet. Hold on, I'm gonna make a guess.
Are so
you
good.
like Red Delicious apples? That's my guess.
Fuck
the worst goddamn kind of apples.
That's what we grew up with.
That's the apple equivalent to Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Guess what we grew up with? Red Delicious, which was mealy and gross.
Macintosh.
And fuck out of here.
Macintosh are the best.
Granny Smith, which is tart and bitter. Guess what they've done?
Ones.
They've made them
Merged
both
them.
do it.
Yeah.
They made them do it in a forest.
Okay, chill out.
And then they
in a forest.
And then they
in
came
a
up
lab.
With, forest, big time.
Forest
and then they filmed it. And then
I'd like to see that. What's it called?
It's called Fuji
Apple pie.
Now it's called Fuji.
Get it?
Pink Lady. We know what I'm talking.
Pink Lady.
These are amazing apple.
Jazz.
brands.
My friend told me once that he went he lives in Chicago.
I'm
he
not
went
joking.
apple picking and he told me to look out. This was 8 years ago. He was like, look out for this fucking hybrid apple coming out called the Jazz.
The Jazz?
He's like, it's the best apple I've ever had.
Oh my god. Well, I'm into it because these apples these days are the greatest thing that we've done as
First
human
of all,
species.
apples are boring as fuck. Second of
You're
all,
boring
I don't
as
dislike fruit. You know what I think my favorite fruit is? I'm going to blow your mind.
Pineapple.
Kiwi.
Ooh, I was close.
Kiwi's delish.
You know what? I love pineapple.
I don't eat it because
Kiwi
apple
is kind of
fruit,
bland and gross and has
fruit
hair all over
takes
it.
too much work.
Kiwi,
Bottom line.
Kiwi does three things.
Pain in the ass.
There's three things that I realized that you like kiwi. One, it looks like testicles, which is
Fact.
a big time.
True. You're one for
Yep.
one. What are the next?
Two is you have to shave it
Yep. Well,
in order to eat it.
again, those
So,
two go
yep,
hand in hand.
yep.
Who
No,
doesn't
I know.
like a shorn
Believe me.
scrotum?
Exactly. And three, it's just as gooey and pretty much flavorless as a pair of freshly shorn testicles that have been
Flavorless. How dare you, sir?
Yeah, your testicles have tons of flavor.
You know what? I'm not going to get into it. If
tastes
you
like
eat
kiwi.
asparagus.
That's gross.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah,
the rest of it was fine.
You know what? You fucking went over the line. God damn you.
So again, somebody MK Bernard 2012 says, I don't eat many vegetables, but I insist the kids eat them and I hide cookies and candy from them. Yeah, again, good parenting. Hey kids, eat your vegetables and don't eat junk food. When you're fucking my age and your kids are driving you up the
Let
wall,
your body just
do whatever
fucking
you want.
deteriorate.
No, but you can make your own decisions when you're older. You can't when you're a kid. That's the fucking point. Whatever. All right. Sarcasm and smart talk was another topic. So Becky 4005
is it?
says I call my kids out whenever they argue or come at me with a smart mouth. But really, my hubs and I are sarcastic shits that always want the last word, so the kids come by it honestly. She might as well be describing my
it's
house.
So annoying.
Oh my God.
Should I do my homework?
Yeah.
Should I, Dad?
Is there anything more annoying than a kid like
and-
practicing
And
sarcasm on you?
here's me. Yeah, I think you should if you want to not fucking fail your fucking life. And she's like, you just swore 4 times. And I go, shut the fuck up, you motherfucker.
That's 6 times. Jess Lore 79. That's Jess _Lore _ 79 says being a smart ass is where she fails. She hates when her kid does it to her. Of course. _ Yellow Umbrellas.
But you know what? She's going to be, these kids are going to be, the smart ass though, they're going to be so equipped to just deal with motherfuckers this whole
When they're on Instagram and they're dealing with trolls, they're going to be fucking
like,
clapping
perfect.
back.
Hey.
Yeah. What do you think I got my
fuck
skills?
you.
_ Yellow Umbrella says
don't know.
being a smart ass, but our rule is if it's funny, you're not in trouble. I like that rule. She said, my daughter was talking about how much her friends say she looks like me, and I said, I gave you my chin, I want it back, and her daughter said, here, add it to your collection. Not bad.
That's good.
Solid burn
You know what?
from
There's
Yellow Umbrellas
There's only one
Jr.
thing you can do. Turn your back. Just give
Yep.
a shout out to the big
Yep.
man upstairs and be like, I did it right.
Who's the big man upstairs?
I don't know. Bernie Sanders? I don't know.
He's Barry Sanders?
Barry Sanders, yeah. The running
He's
back
not
for
big.
the Detroit.
Detroit.
Lions.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
He was fun to watch, wasn't
He was, but he's not that big.
So here's a huge one in my house. Screen time is a big problem, right? So
I can only
constantly telling
imagine.
my kids, you have too much screen time. And I would
You
literally
with-
have my phone in my hand and say, you've been on your screen all day. And I live in fear of the time where my kid turns to me and says,
That's
you're
gonna
literally on it
happen
right now.
this
Of course
year.
it's going to
It's gonna
happen.
happen
I'm
this year.
surprised it hasn't. It may have, and I just ignored it.
Does your wife ever be like? Does your wife ever like just tisk you out? Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, constantly. My wife? Mom and Buried? Yeah.
yeah.
It's her favorite thing is
but
to
then
tisk
she's
me
on
out.
her phone.
Oh, yeah.
As she's tisking you out. Yeah.
God forbid you call her out on it, though. Not
come
worth
on,
it.
what are
Not
you-
worth it.
what are
Not
you-
worth it. So
Global thermonuclear
D
war?
_ Cosme says all the screen time. Sweet Melissa 7877 says telling them no more screen time when I'm on my phone. J to the yo, tons of screen time. Shamarette screen time. She's like, I'm on my phone nonstop, but I limit them hardcore. Again, part of this. This one's tough, but part of it is developmental, right? Where you need your
Right.
kids to
They can't just
not be staring
Yep.
at TVs and screens all the time. When you're older
They
and
need
you have
to
nothing
play.
left to live for, like us,
It's all on the downhill slope.
your
Yeah.
brain. Guess what? Your brain is fully formed by our age, right? When you're a kid, your brain's not even fully formed until you're like 25. You're gonna fucking melt the shit out of that if all you're doing is
Exactly.
staring at screens
By your age, it's like a kiwi, but like shorn, half shorn, and
and
then
flavorless
flavorless. Yeah,
and
exactly.
bland. So
That's right.
oh hey says we tell our kids absolutely no lying, and then we make up all. Hold on. I like this one. This should go in the random category.
Yeah.
So I think there's one more. So before we get to that, Tracy _ Transform says, my kid actually called me out for being a hypocrite recently. I put the iPad away and told her she'd been on it enough for the day. And then she pointed out that I was still on my phone. And then Tracy Transform said, I told her I was reading a book, which isn't always true, but was this time. But the kid didn't even believe her until she showed her. I can't imagine
That's
if I
such a
told
good
my
call.
kid, put your screen away, and then she was like, but you're on yours. Like,
And
I'm
then
reading a book. She's like,
immediately you're
fucking
just-
prove it.
You're just like
You're closing
tapping.
all your other
You're
apps.
just like swipe.
Bring up
swipe,
Kindle.
swipe.
Bring up Kindle.
Oh my God. Siri, you stupid.
And then it's
fucking
Tropic
get
of
me.
Cancer by Henry Miller.
Yeah.
It's just a
It's like,
hardcore sex scene.
no. Is this the animated series, Tropic of Cancer?
Have you ever read that? I haven't.
No.
I did read American Psycho when I was a kid in 9th grade
Yeah, it was
because I
great.
wanted to be the kid who read American Psycho.
It's good.
Guess what? No, it's not.
What?
The movie's great.
No,
the
the
book is
book
just
is-
shock value.
no,
Not
the
really.
book is-
There's
the
a
book is
scene
good.
where
It's way
he's
better.
getting
It's better.
he's
Patrick
getting
Bateman?
fellatio from a girlfriend, and he chainsaws off
Yeah,
her
yeah,
head
yeah.
during it,
Yep.
and then dances around. I'm in 9th grade reading that. And then you wonder
No
why
more
I
book
did
time.
that
No
to
more book
my
time.
prom date. It's because books and media are the problem.
Books are the problem. You just got that from
Where did I get it from?
In the current media, where
books are the problem.
Yeah. If more
a
people
school
read
in
books,
Tennessee banned the Harry Potter books because it promotes witchcraft.
Yeah, you know why?
Years too late.
We need. You know what? It's fine because school shootings are great. All right.
That's right. Tropical cancer. That's what
Yeah,
caused those.
exactly. Because video games apparently cause school shootings.
So there's
right?
there's a great meme
This is such a fucking stupid.
where somebody
place to
said,
live.
video games are the problem except
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
been murdering and torturing people for like 4,000 years, so maybe humans are just pieces of shit.
Yeah. or any sort of like stats around like the Japanese ratio to like video gaming versus gun murders.
They basically live inside video
Yeah,
games and they don't kill
exactly.
anyone.
No
Yeah.
one dies.
Except Pearl Harbor. All right. So now we got a bunch of random shit, and I want to get back.
I'm glad you brought that back
Yeah,
up.
right.
This is exactly the
It's a
right
message,
time.
yeah.
Never forget.
I am sweating a lot, okay? It was my first day of work in almost 7 months.
You
Cut
know
me
what?
some goddamn
No one
slack.
gives a shit. Let's go.
So,
Welcome to the fucking
there's
show.
a bunch of random shit where people were talking about other hypocritical things they do. And brought up a great one. She said, or he said, don't know. We tell our kids absolutely no lying, and then we make up all kinds of shit to get them to do something. 100% true.
Yep.
Right? You're like, no lying. You always have to tell us the truth. And then they'll be like, we go to the zoo. You'd be like, no, the zoo's fucking closed.
The zoo's on fire.
Yeah.
What?
The zoo burned down.
Not kind of any
Yeah.
like a controlled burning.
Yeah.
What's a controlled burning? Okay, so when you
What the fuck are you talking
I'm just
about?
telling you have to keep going.
All the animals
in
were
these
burned to
lies.
death. Yeah. You just keep getting
These
worse
lies.
and worse. But I think that's true again.
Yeah, you really have to like know your shit. It's like Spy Game. Don't ever tell you something.
With Robert Redford?
Yeah. Where he's like, don't ever say something that isn't exactly true.
I've
you
never
just
seen
told
that.
3 lies that have to be true.
That's Robert Redford and Brad Pitt. I
Yeah,
never saw that.
It's really good.
Really?
It's so good.
He made a bunch of clunkers around that time.
No, this is
The
a good
one with my Devil's Own with Harrison Ford was around that time.
This
I
is
didn't
different.
See that
This
either.
is in the
I know they're not the same
2000s.
movie.
Yeah. This is good.
Yeah. 7 Years in Tibet.
No, that was a piece of shit. This
Didn't see
is
that either.
a really good.
Meet Joe Black.
God, why am I saying this is so good all the time? Just shut the fuck up
Yeah.
and watch Spy Game, everybody.
I'm never gonna watch Spy Game.
Good, then
It's
fucking
it's
stay
fucking
out.
forgotten.
Stay out of Spy.
No one cares
You know
about
what?
Spy Game.
Stay out of the Spy Game forums.
You're right. And at least until I've seen the movie, I should stop going on Spy Game forums and fucking yelling
You're
about
really
it.
ruining it for a lot
Literally,
of us.
no one has talked about that movie in 15 years, except for you brought it up.
Welcome back, everybody. Spy Game.
Okay. So Mary Babayan, Mary_Babayan
right.
on
Hey,
Instagram,
Miss
but she's
Babayan.
one of our favorites, said
Supplements.
she's guilty of all of this shit. She doesn't eat healthy, but she tells her kids to. She uses her screens too much, but she tells her kids not to. She's messy when she wants her kids to clean. She yells at them when she doesn't want them to yell. You name it. And I think we all are. M. Cedeno 1980, who's a recent fan who's been commenting a lot, says he's guilty of all of them too. Screen time, eating all your veggies even though he hates them, stop saying shit while he basically curses like a sailor, go play with other kids while he avoids people at all costs.
That's a good one.
He's the epitome of do as I say, not as I
Yeah.
do. But again, like as a parent, you're trying to instill good habits. I'm not trying to pretend I'm perfect in any way, but I'm trying to make my kids better than me. It's my responsibility to do that. So even if I'm a piece of shit who swears all the time and doesn't eat fucking veggies and I'm an introvert and I use too much screen time, doesn't mean I want that for you. It's like, if I don't go to college, doesn't mean I want you to not go to college.
Except for you explicitly said liberal college assholes should die.
Should die. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah,
literally.
yeah, that's
I
what you
loved college. I've said before, I'll give both my legs to
That's
be back in there.
the weirdest thing.
No, it is
anyone's
not.
ever said.
It's facts.
Is it
Anyway,
facts?
I'm just saying it's
No,
our
no.
responsibility to
I'm with
try
you.
to make them better versions of ourselves,
That's
and a lot of times that means
Lying
teaching
to
them to do things that we, or
Lying
teaching
to
them
them.
not to do things that we
That's
do.
right. Yeah,
Being
yeah.
a hypocrite.
Yes, you got it.
It's the fucking way to parent. There's
That's
no way
it.
around it. If you aren't a hypocritical parent, you are probably
Doing it wrong,
boring as shit.
or you're doing it wrong.
You're a priest. You're probably a priest. And if you've
Wait a
had a
second.
kid and you're a priest, then you're the biggest hypocrite of all. Right, Nate?
Yeah. What's that?
Anyway,
what-
Fleabag, season 2. Check it out.
What's the movie where the guy from Lord of the Rings is the dad and his
Viggo Mortensen.
yeah Viggo Mortensen
Captain.
his kids live out in
Captain
the woods.
Fantastic. I haven't seen it. Is it good?
Oh my god, it's
I heard it was good.
It's really good, and he basically just talks super plainly to his kids, and
Like
there's a
treats
scene,
them like
yeah,
adults.
there's a scene
Yeah.
on the bus. They're just like traveling in a bus to go see. Oh, the mom dies, and they have to. The parents they have to go to the funeral, and he's just traveling on the bus. And then someone asks about sex, and he's like, "Well, what about sex?" And it's like, "Well, when a penis goes into like literally the kid
Yeah.
is just like super mad. He's like, "Yeah, that's right," and everyone's super cringing like me. I'm like hiding. I'm like
What's
out of
the
my
point
skin.
of this conversation? How did
The
this
point
come up?
is that he's a
You wanna
much
go
better
through
parent.
Viggo
He's a
Mortensen's-
much better parent than I am.
Yeah.
Will ever be.
Have you seen History of Violence?
You know what? I take it back. He's a real piece of shit.
History of
Yeah,
Violence
it
is
is
fucking
good.
great. So we had a play date. My kid had a play
Oh,
date.
shit.
My
I
kid
can't
had a
wait to
play
hear where
date
this goes.
with a friend, and when my wife went to pick up my kid, the mom who we're friends with was like, "Oh yeah, I'm tired." I'm like, my wife was like, "Oh, I can't stick around. I'm tired." And the woman was like, "Yeah, I'm tired too. We stayed up to watch History of Violence last night. Huge mistake." And I'm like, "Huge mistake? That movie's fucking phenomenal. What are you talking about?"
So you got bullshit immediately.
I know. I was in the car. I got bullshit.
After the fact.
And then I got out of the car and I said, "What the fuck are you people talking about?" And they happened to be watching Spy Game when I walked in.
He threw a brick.
'Cause that's how
through the
shitty their
window.
taste is. Yeah. I put a note on the brick. Go watch Spy Game, you Philistines. What are we even talking about?
You know what though? Can I just say, for like this is a thing that happens a lot. When I'm always like, oh, someone's like, can I buy this? Can I buy that? And I'm like,
Someone or your
no,
kids?
my kids. My kids are like, can I buy someone? One of my fucking kids.
Do you ever
is like, "Can I buy
parent
this?"
strangers?
No. Unless they're
No, strange adults, I mean.
Yeah, all the time. Strange kids, no. But my kids are like, oh, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. I'm like, you know what? You buy it with your own money, and then literally they're like, oh, I know exactly where they're. They're like, oh, I have this much money, I'm gonna buy this. And
God,
I'm like,
my kids
no,
don't
you
have any
can't.
money.
I'm like, no, you can't. Well, they make
Make
my
money,
kids
make money,
wanna make
ho. All right, so Tricky M81 says, again, guilty of all this stuff, yelling, losing my temper, looking at my phone while telling her kids not to do it. Stephanie Kennerson tells her kids, don't say fuck, don't eat too many sweets,
Right.
be social, put on clean clothes. That's a new one. Stephanie, just maybe put on clean clothes yourself. I don't know.
You know what? If there's stains,
No,
it's
but look,
time for a
yesterday I didn't
change.
shower all day. I woke up hungover. I was exhausted. My wife doesn't like it if I shower late.
You know what? It was a weekend. We record this on Monday. We'll be
Yeah.
listening to this on
This is
Thursday.
on Sunday.
So just to be able, weekend, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I didn't
showering,
go to
doing
work
whatever.
in like
Yeah.
the same clothes. No, come on. Here we go. Crystal Brook on my corner. So it's Crystal with a K, and then it's Brook BR00K. I'm getting people followers is what I'm doing. She says, I feel like I've earned the right to this shit. I take care of 3 monsters all
Okay.
day. I accidentally wrote that she takes care of 3 moths all day, which I'm like, you didn't earn nothing. How hard is it to take care of moths? Unless you're James Gum, right? You know who that is? Buffalo Bill, Silence of the Lambs. But I'm saying we've earned all of it. We're adults. We've lived, 4, 5 decades.
All right, so we got it.
Oh
We've
my
done
God.
this. We can be dick parents.
Yes, and shitty people.
All right, there we go.
So KML 218 and Melly 1980s talk about that they're trying to get their kids to brush their teeth and to floss, even though they don't do it well. Again,
Well,
good parenting.
yeah,
You want to
flossing
instill
stuff.
these habits.
Flossing
Mom
is
needs
hard.
more coffee says the same thing. Cat with kids says she can't keep her room clean for the life of her, but she's always making her little monster pick up his toys.
Yeah.
That's because you want when your kid to grow
Right.
up
You don't
to clean
want
her
to
own
come
room.
home to a messy room. Exactly. So yeah, it's. I think there's a lot. Is there any other? What else we got? Anything
So
else?
this was a little bit off of the topic, but Cat with Kids also said, so it's Cat with a K _with _kids, said that before she had kids, she thought she was going to do home cooked meals full of veggies, all
Yeah,
organic.
yeah.
And then she had her first kid, and he just
Lunchables.
eats Stouffer's frozen
Yeah,
meals.
exactly.
I don't know that that's hypocritical parenting,
That's
the
just
way that
you're-
we're
you-
talking about
you're
it,
just-
but
you're tired.
you woke up to reality is what
you
happened.
Just you got a
Best
big
laid
dose of,
plans, right?
What I like is Paula Polsky was like, I boss my kids around all day, and then I come home, and then when they do it, he's like, "Don't stop bossing them around."
I yell at my kid to not boss his little brother all
Oh
the
my
time.
God, all 3 kids just boss. One bosses the other, and the other one bosses the other ones.
Just a trickle down
Except
ecosockets.
for what happens with my middle, who gets totally screwed, because my youngest is now
We'll
the
boss him
same
too.
size.
Oh, yeah.
the
He's a
same
tank.
size as my 9-year-old.
And
My
he's 5,
5-year-old
yeah.
is the same size as my 9-year-old, who's not big. She's just will like start pushing him, and he's just learned that he like Like, you know, when
I'm stronger than
like, you know, when
yeah.
someone catches a punch.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh shit, I can do that!" Like Neo in the Matrix.
And then everybody in the whole situation's like, "Oh shit, yeah,
it's on now."
And then, so now, now it's fucked. Now she's fucked, and he has the upper hand, and he's a big tank, and doesn't have the capacity.
She's got to revert to psychological one-upsmanship.
You know what? Well, that's what I've been telling her. Sandinistas. She's got to buy goods.
Great Clash album. Charlie Don't Surf.
Yep.
Kayla Kristen left a comment on Facebook, said, "Every morning I tell my son to make, when she drops her kid off at school, she tells her son to make good decisions. And then she goes 20 over the speed limit to get an iced coffee that makes her late to work. And then she says, I tell him we don't call our friends names while she verbally abuses her coworkers all day long."
You know what? Good for you. It sounds like you got a good setup, Kayla Kristen.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, that's the dream. You can tell your kids how to live. Meanwhile, you live according to your own goddamn
rules. What's up, bitches?
Rules. Yeah.
Especially you, Dennis. You
rolling in,
son of a
Dennis.
bitch. Yeah.
Why Dennis?
How's accounting? You douchebag.
Wow. So now all accountants are douchebags?
Yeah. No, I'm talking.
I'm not disagreeing.
I'm saying in this particular scenario, Kayla's just coming in just hot.
Coming in hot.
Who wants a coffee? Not you, you
douchebag, Dennis.
All right.
So I think we covered pretty much everything.
I think we did it.
So if we didn't, next week when we were recording our live, you guys can chime in. You can go to YouTube. You can leave comments about this episode. Please. And if we missed anything or you want to talk about this episode, we'll do a little recap during our live next Monday when we record.
Yeah. So listen, we got. So because no one understood what Mike just said, we were going to put this on YouTube. So hit us up on YouTube.
YouTube. No one calls it YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. YouTube.
Enunciate.
And I don't need to enunciate. This is just some sort of radio show of some kind.
It's called a podcast.
And then we do a live before
when we record on Mondays, and we do a live before, usually around like 7:30 or so.
Yeah,
where we take your questions about previous weeks, and then we just we shoot the shit. We shoot the breeze. But we're always looking for your support. You can use your words. Yeah, I said it again. I don't care how annoying it is to you, whoever said that. Or you Sarah Dawn. Yeah. Or you can use your wallet on Patreon. We want to give a little bit of a shout out to our patrons who are going to be getting some special perks. So we got on the single dad tier, Chris Coleman, Miriam, and MS Babayan. On the dad bod tier, we got Barbara Geiger, a.k.a. Funky Fee, and Morning Glow. The father figure tier, Julie McCarthy, Sarge, Paula Polsky, the world's biggest Canadian football fan, and Jennifer Wynn. And the world's greatest dad tier, Mary Williams, a mom party of 2. And my new dad tier, Sarah/ABC Mommy.
Who is our new dad, of course.
We really appreciate the support.
Thank you so much.
You can throw some money our way that way if you want. You can go to YouTube, leave comments. You can leave reviews on Apple Podcasts, and you can subscribe.
Or just give us some 5 stars. Some stars.
Yeah, some stars. When we get to 100, we're doing a controversial topic.
Oh, yeah.
So we're only 9 away. So Spooktober, I think, is going to have something controversial coming your way. Next week, we're doing kids' TV shows and stuff. Probably be some more... I did some singing on the live tonight, a little Paw Patrol theme song, and do a little bit more of that.
I can't wait to hear the Paw Patrol song.
Maybe I'll do some, I'll do the Growing Pains theme song, even though kids don't watch it anymore.
They don't watch that at all, and that's just in your mind.
Show me that smile. No. Show me that smile. Don't waste another minute.
Thank you very much, everybody. This has been another awful. Listen,
the best is ready to begin.
All we're trying to do is just get into new and notable. But now we're going to get into angry and old.
We got the world sitting right in our hands.
Okay. All right. Well, you can listen to this and much more awfulness next week.
I think I've got I can hold it too.
It's really bad.
I have no idea if I can.
We love you guys.
So let me know.
Thank you for listening.
Don't eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm putting up a poll in your face.
Yeah, put up that poll. Build that wall, you son of a bitch.
Build that wall.
You're such a piece of...
Drill, baby, drill.
Okay.
We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
I don't know why you would still be watching This Isn't a Marvel Movie, no matter how much I look like Paul Rudd, which you can deny it all you want. It's there in the eyes, I think. I'm young looking like him. If you enjoyed the podcast, which you obviously did, or you wouldn't be listening still, sign up on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you want to listen to. Comment here on YouTube, subscribe, hit that like button. We want to hear from you. Comments, questions, dirty jokes, money, all the money you can give us. We'd love it all. Catch you next time.